have a green Monday so far. Marketing open in 5 minutes. Let me check and make sure we're sounding good over on X here. Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. Yeah, it looks like they can hear us. Let me put a little GM in the chat here. Get that going. Welcome, everyone listening live on X or Rumble or YouTube. But yeah, let's get this party started. Market opens in a few minutes. Wow, things are looking good, as you can tell just by looking. Look at that. Pepe up 20.5%. I got my new router in here. I got fiber optics, like, gosh damn, way back in July, and never upgraded my router. The guys came, they're like, wow, I'm surprised that one even worked. So hopefully that was my problem with streaming. Otherwise, I don't know if I have any problem. I guess we'll have to blame it on my computer. But anyway, yeah, as you can see, the market's absolutely looking great. I mean, geez, look at these. Pepe up 20.5, Tau BitTensor 9.9, Ethereum 8.7, Fetch AI 13, Pengu 9.4, Polkadot 11.6. Man, tell you, for years I believe Polkadot was going to be the ETH killer. I'd love to see it come back. Virtuals 5.5, Hype 5.8, Chainlink 5.6. Yeah, everything looking good. So what happened there? Okay. But yeah, Bitcoin, just a quick peek of Bitcoin. Like I say, the markets are not open yet, but Bitcoin right now 73,925, up 3.3% for the day. Ethereum 2281, up 8. Let me make it a little bigger for you. Up 8.7% for the day. BNB 679.40, up 3%. XRP $1.48, up 3.8%. And Solana 94.05, up 6.9%. So I'll take that for a Monday. Futures opened up good. Take a quick peek at futures, maybe right before they open, if it'll refresh. Yeah, futures looking. NASDAQ up 1%, Dow 0.77, S&P 0.89. So welcome, join us here. We still have stuff going on in the Middle East, rising over there. We'll talk about that. But crypto finally outperforming. I don't know if it's just playing catch up. Seems like people are starting to realize with everything that's going on, maybe Bitcoin is becoming a little bit of a safe haven. We'll talk about that. But yeah. So looking like we're going to open up. Market just opened. We'll check back in a minute, but check some news stories. The Dubai airport got hit by Iranian drones yesterday, completely, all flight canceled. People are warned not to go around the area. Now, since then, right, a few minutes ago, I saw they've reopened it, limited flights. But man, we'll talk about this, but Dubai is really starting to feel the consequences of this, man. Stock market opened down today. Real estate markets like down 30% since the war started. So, Dubai is, and I personally love Dubai, but man, it's starting to, the net effect is starting to add up, and people are starting to be afraid to go over there. And, it's definitely probably feeling the most heat of anywhere over there, because it's so, Dubai itself is probably, I don't know, vast majority, like I'd say 85% expats. Very few actual Emiratis actually live in Dubai, just the ones that are working there and a few, but it's mostly a city for foreigners. So that's not good. Also, China ratcheting up tensions around Taiwan. They're saying 7 warships, and they've counted 26 airplanes. Now, obviously, airplanes are going to have to refuel, but maybe they're, this is obviously meant to send some kind of message. I lived in Taiwan for 7-8 years, went to college over there. So part of, Yeah, this goes back to the late mid '60s when the Nationalist Party got kicked out by the communists, and they went over to Taiwan, which is really a small island, very close to China, very very close. Um, so anyway, they're all Chinese. They both, this has been kind of a situation going on but they couldn't be more different. And keep in mind that Taiwan makes 60% of the world's semiconductors. So I don't know if this is just a chess move on Xi's part, kind of telling Trump, get this thing settled. Anyway, it's interesting how it's playing out, and we continue to follow it. Yeah, Dubai real estate has dropped 33% in 10 days to about $270 billion wiped from market value. So, and I mean, Dubai has been, geez, it's been crazy, right? Been going up, 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 up. Is going to put a little bit of a damper on it. The longer it goes, I think the worse it's going to get. So I think that good strategy on the short term by Iran, trying to put pressure, but very bad strategy long term, because think about it. Does anyone want these guys to have nuclear weapons? Does anyone want these guys to have a huge battery of ballistic missiles? We've already seen what they'll do with them. So I think we're going to see a world where none of their neighbors are going to tolerate any kind of buildup, military advanced Iran. I mean, they've, like I say, short term probably smart. Long term, I don't know that it's so smart. Saudi Arabia intercepted 61 drones just yesterday. Now, these are these cheap $30,000 to $50,000 drones that have been quite effective. I thought it was funny over the weekend. Iran was telling Saudi Arabia, "Hey, these might be American drones trying to frame us." Obviously, the lies and propaganda war and social media war rages on, but thought that was interesting. The propaganda continues. Man, I saw David Gokhshtein send this out yesterday. There's 39 million tokens. So whether you've been here a long time, you already know. If you're new here, you just got to you've got to ignore almost all of these. Most total crap, and we've all been caught in the hype of the trenching and the meme coins and this and that. Man, focus on quality. You probably don't need more than a handful of tokens in your portfolio, but especially now when everything's down, why focus on anything but the quality? Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, Solana, maybe XRP if you like XRP. We've got, let's just look at it here. Just look at the top 10. Of course, Pepe is my main meme coin play right now. I own Virtuals. I own Tau. I own Ethereum. I own some Kite. It's not been doing too good lately, but I own Ondo. I own Jupiter. I own Chainlink. I own Fetch. I own a little XRP, not much. I own some Hype, AVAX. They did own some Astra. I own a little Pungu, one of my other favorite meme coins. There's good stuff to focus on here. And of course, I also own my kind of long, crazy plays, Landwolf. See how it's doing today. It's kind of my beta play on Pepe. It's up 11.1% today, still only 10 million market cap. They've got a huge treasury. They're on like 16 exchanges for something almost out of the top 1,000. To me, that's a great play. One of the boys club with Pepe. D down there too. UFD, look, they're up 17% today. They've got a strong community with Basement Ron and stuff. I don't think they're going away. They really are kind of a model community. Anyway, let's see how the stock market's opening today. This is, after all, called Opening Bell Crypto. Also, I know down a little. We'll check again, but refresh this just to make sure. This is a crappy website, this Yahoo. Yeah, opened up about like we thought, up 1%. Yeah, up about 3/4 in S&P. So it opened up about like the futures indicated. See if it'll give us the oil here, because oil was about 95 when I checked a minute ago. Let's see how oil's feature holding out here. Yeah, crude oil 94, $95 exactly, down 3.7%. Brent crude, which I believe is the crude over that's is in question over there, down 97, a little more expensive. So it seems like there's a little bit of optimism. Maybe something will happen over there in the Middle East. Take another look at Bitcoin since the market opened. Let's get to Artie Fisher, man. GM Jim, it's a great day for a birthday. Well, if it's your birthday, happy birthday, brother. No stress, only smiles here in Tennessee. Hope you have a great day too. Artie Fisher, good buddy from way back in the day on X, and good dude out there coming to us on YouTube. I love it, man, because I don't have almost any followers on YouTube. So appreciate you, Artie. Happy birthday if it's a birthday, man. What even month is it? Let's see. March. All righty, man. Happy birthday to somebody. Hopefully Artie, my guy Artie. So let's see how Bitcoin's doing. Let's look at the hourly chart here. Yeah, it dropped a little bit, but not surprising. I mean, look, we hit just before the show 74,373. So that's good. Liking that. And GM Jim, by the way, all our listeners over there on X, welcome to the GM Opening Bell Crypto Show, man. Hopefully our real goal here, drop a little alpha now and again, but I've been here for 15 years. I bought my first stock when I was first grade, so I've been around the block a few times, on like 15 different companies, mostly in the crypto and import exports, but not crypto, but I mean .com, the internet side of things. But listen, want to catch up what happened when you're sleeping. And here in about a half an hour or so every day, half an hour, 40 minutes, give you guys heads up on what's happening. So whether you're listening live or catching the recording, our goal is to save you time and get you up to date. So Bitcoin still not doing too bad. Let's look at XRP on the hourly. It's actually up $1.48.6. So took a little dip, and does Solana here. Solana 94.77. Same thing, a little dip off the high and kind of popping back. I'll take it, man. To me, this is a very good Monday, all things considered, with all the geopolitical tensions, everything going on. So yeah, man, ignore the crap is the message about those 39 million tokens. This is crazy. Our guy Fitty put this up here. Sam Bankman-Fried invested $500 million in Anthropic. That stake would now be worth $70 billion. So had a lot of vision. Look, this guy had vision, couldn't hold it together. There was some fuckery going on, and obviously they were doing some stupid shit, and then the market crashed. Now he claims that they were always solvent and they jumped the gun, and the bankruptcy process, man, no one's a winner there. Like on the Celsius thing, the bankruptcy attorneys got paid like $400 million on a $6 billion bankruptcy. And once again, it's what happens when the tide goes out. You see who's not wearing any swim trunks, right? So, but man, that must be a horrible feeling for him. If you want to have any empathy for him, sitting in there realizing just your one investment would now be worth $70 billion. And all this stuff is back up, right? But you got to survive. You got to play the game right. They were doing all kinds of stupid stuff, taking risks they shouldn't have been. But man, FTX could have been a behemoth of Hell, they were in fortune cookies. I used to get fortune cookies with FTX fortune cookies, fortunes in them. So anyway, so much for fortune cookies. Check this out. I mean, this is something to be excited about, I think. Since the outbreak of the conflict, Bitcoin is plus 15%, gold is minus 5%. So I think a lot of this is just Bitcoin was like holding a beach ball underwater. It was just oversold in comparison to itself and everything else, comparison to the S&P, comparison to gold, silver, everything. It was just under, mispriced. End of story, in my opinion. So what Trump's trying to do is he's trying to get the NATO allies to come in and help him protect the Straits of Hormuz, maybe just like with military escorts or whatever. Over the weekend too, since we had this last show, he bombed Kharg Island, which is 90% of their imports of their oil goes through that little island. It's about 15 miles off the coast. They hit him with 90 strikes on, I think, Saturday night or Sunday morning. I can't remember, but they were all military targets. But shows how easily they couldn't take it out. And he said they might bomb it a few more times just for fun. So that's kind of the nuclear option: is we'll take out all of their oil infrastructure. They will have nothing to pay their people or keep them on. Doesn't want to do that. That hurts the whole world and hurts them trying to rebuild, and especially hurts China. So, and he's also saying they want to talk, right? But they're saying they don't want to talk. And anyway, who knows? They've hit over 6,000. They've hit over 6,000 targets since they started, and they've obviously done a big, good thing at degrading their ability to launch rockets. But they're still doing plenty in these little cheap drones. Are really changing the game, right? I think they kind of miscalculated. But $867 billion Bernstein said Bitcoin outperformed gold and equities during last week's Middle East tension. Bitcoin is building the most resilient capital base. So my question is, dare we believe that Bitcoin is actually fulfilling its destiny and starting to become a safe haven asset, is starting to become digital gold? I mean, it seems like it. Maybe we're premature, but eventually, right now, it's a high risk asset. It's trading like a tech stock, right? Like not even it's trading. If you lay the charts over, it looks most like an internet stock of some type, right? So that's not going to be there forever, and I think that's what we're seeing here. Already, Germany and Japan have both come back and said Germany rejects Trump's proposal to participate in the Strait of Hormuz operation. It's not our war and we don't start it. Same with Japan. All I will say is not good for them. I get it. They're in a real between a rock and a hard spot, right? They don't want to get sucked into this, but they're the ones that need the oil. Even Trump said, we don't need the oil. We have our own oil. We're a net exporter now, thanks to Trump and his policies. So, this is interesting. Puts them in a bad spot, but Trump doesn't forget, and he's very vindictive. And he's, right now they're lifting sanction on Russian oil and stuff like that to keep it in check. But Trump will not forget this. So I kind of feel for these guys. They don't want to play it, but their defenses are dog crap, right? They've not built up their militaries. They've instead chosen to build up their welfare states. The European countries, most of them are not doing good. So anyway, I get it. It's an interesting dilemma here. We'll see how this plays out. We'll follow it. But remember Trump, man, he holds a grudge forever. And this freaking hallelujah. I've been talking about this, right? How the STRC, those preferred stock on Master Strategies, the STRC, paying out 11.5%, has been getting huge interest, right? And just doing crazy volume every day, like 300 million, 250 million per day. Like the most conservative insurance companies and stuff. Michael Saylor's actually taken money from these people who have trillions of dollars, hundreds of billions, if not trillions, and he's bringing it over. And just today, and we knew something big was coming with his orange dots over the weekend, and he just acquired 337,000 Bitcoin for $157 billion at an average price of 70,194. Now, when we look over here at Bitcoin, for the first time, he actually bought the dip, because now it's seven. Oh, a little bit. Look at the hour here. Yeah, we're pumping back up. We're now sitting at 74,377. So for once, he bought the dip, which he rarely does because he's buying. But, he kind of has the capacity here. And what he might be doing actually be forcing the, raising the price on himself. But, yeah, big. And he virtually might do this every week. I mean, this is crazy, right? 1.57 billion. Let that sink in. How long can he do this with this STRC? It's a little riskier, but it's not risky if, what if Bitcoin goes back up to all-time highs? Then he can pay that for years and years, even though just a few weeks ago, a week or so ago, he was down $7.5–8 billion. Now he's probably close. Well, let's see. Okay, let's look at this. Here we are right here. He now holds 761,068 Bitcoin, okay, which he acquired for $57.61 billion. That's what they paid. Now, there it is right there. Average price, $75,096. He's only about $1,000 away from breaking even. So, wiping out that much of that money that's upside down. He's back close to break even, right? Think about it. We're in the low 60s a few weeks ago. How does he respond? He doubles down. So if this doesn't make you bullish, I was saying on a space over the weekend, we may not be bullish enough. And that's something the Hoff always says when he comes up and speaks on a show. We're not bullish enough. And I'm really starting to feel like we may be not bullish enough, man. This thing's going to take off some point, and we'll pray. If we could build a time machine and come back and buy Bitcoin at these prices. That's what I keep saying, man. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Now Trump's talking. We see China kind of surrounding Taiwan, trying to flexing a little over there. And Trump says he may delay China's trip over the Hormuz. Trump said he may postpone his China visit unless Beijing helps reopen the Strait of Hormuz. He added that China relies heavily on Middle East oil and should join a coalition to secure tanker traffic through the straits. Now, this is a big deal because in all the conflicts in my lifetime that I know of, I'm no Middle East expert, but as far as I understand, through the Iraq War, Afghanistan, everything that's ever happened, the Straits of Hormuz have never been closed. So that needs to get sorted, right? And China wants to get sorted more than anything. So I do think that this is now China, becoming a global thing and definitely a big thing between Trump and China. And that's why I think China, he hasn't gone in that island and just obliterated it, because that a lot of that's China's oil. It could throw the world into a crazy crisis there. So anyway, interesting situation. Yeah, this in Dubai did reopen the port, and there's some limited flights going in and out. Coinbase, they announced they're going to start letting their users earn 10% back in holding USDC. We know this is a big back and forth between banks, but Coinbase is going ahead and going back in and starting that up again. So that'll be good for them. Metaplanet, they just announced they raised $255 million to buy Bitcoin. It seems like such a piddling amount, but it's huge when you think we don't want just Michael Saylor owning all the Bitcoin, right? Could buy over 30. Maybe that's how many they, no, that's not how many they hold. They hold a lot more than that. I think they're the number 2 holder out there. Shout out to Metaplanet. They're doing what they can too. And this was interesting. $1.5 trillion Franklin Templeton just said that Bitcoin is finally becoming a global safe haven asset. Middle East wealth is looking at Bitcoin. And that's interesting. They're when you see everything that's happening, when we see that right now you're taking like a 10-15% discount if you try and sell your gold in Dubai. Because as we saw today, there's no flights leaving, or there's limited flights. How much can you even take on a flight, right? It's not transportable like Bitcoin is. I think as we see these global tensions and these wars and things like that, it becomes more and more apparent how good of a digital gold that Bitcoin is. So they're saying that Middle East wealth is looking at Bitcoin, and it will clear 100,000 easy again this year. I believe that they don't just throw this out there, right? This is not a Bitcoin company. This is a huge trad fight. My call is that we hit all-time high this year. I think that happens, especially with the election. We got a new Fed chair. Imagine what's going to even happen from here when this Iran thing gets settled. And I know it's not good short term, but man, you've already seen what would these people do if they had a nuke? They had already launched it. I can promise you. So they were getting a lot more of these ballistic missiles too, and we see that we don't want to have them. And also, we got to get some new technology to fight off these low-cost drones, because they've changed the game. Can't be shooting $30,000 to $50,000 drones down with $2 to $13 million missiles. Now, Capital B. Now this seems once again tiny. They bought 8 Bitcoin. Yeah, $500,000, but they are Europe's first listed Bitcoin treasury, and they own 264.4 million euros worth of Bitcoin. So nothing to sneeze at. Though, man, Michael Saylor makes everything look so teeny in comparison. Laos plans to mine Bitcoin using excess electricity as part of a strategy to help pay down national debt. They're following Bhutan's example there. Once again, little, then all at once. It's like the 6th or 7th country mining Bitcoin with the actual assets of the company. Not that we care, but the Academy Awards were last night. Actor Michael Jordan won first Best Actor for Sinners. I guess they had more, the most Oscars nominated of any film of all time. So shout out to them. Already said, does Saylor ever sells Bitcoin? No, he never has, and says he's never going to. Now that can't say that he never say never, but the CEO says the same thing. Their strategy is just to hold, buy and hold. So he's never sold any Bitcoin, and says he never will. Now it's a business, right? It's a publicly traded company. They've got to do what's best for the shareholders. But so far, he structured it to get through this. Anyway, man, see how we're doing. I think it's a pretty good Monday with you. What's going on? Would like to see that we've got to get this Strait of Hormuz opened and stuff. With barrel hits like it did hit $120 a week ago Sunday. We don't need $150, $200 barrel. That will massively thing. As of now, we continue to do better. NAS %, Dow 1.03, and S&P 50. Let's take one more quick peek at oil. It was around $95, $97 a barrel. Let's see where we're at right now. I need a screen just for oil. I think I went past it, to be honest with you. This is a crappy website. Again. What a slow website. Wow. I feel like I'm on the old school dial-up. If those of you want to know what dial-up felt like, this was it. This website is just so crappy. Can't believe they haven't optimized it a little better. Anyway, I guess we're not going to see what oil's costing us. Now I think, oh, there we go. Okay, 94. Yeah, it continues to drop. 94.43 for crude, down 4.34, and Brent crude down 97.04. So anyway, one last look at Bitcoin, man. Let's see how we're doing. 74. Let's pull it up to make sure. Might be making fun of them. Might be partially. We have a big drop. Let's look at the hourly. Yep, down to 73.9, about where we started the show. Hey, but I'll take it. I look at it like, yeah, good day. Look at all these green bubbles. I'm liking it. I'll take it. Let's get this war settled. And everyone have a great month. Hopefully I saved you a little bit of time on your day, the speed of everything that's happening. And we'll be back tomorrow. And this will be here every Monday through Friday, right around market open. And we'll kind of tell you what happened when you were sleeping. So